Hello, welcome to another Blackpool Pleasure Beach update video. It is the 20th of April. Look at this weather today. Blue skies, warm weather, highs of 12 to 13 degrees, spring. Look at it, it's definitely spring today compared to the past few updates, isn't it? Obviously last weekend it was a bit windy, wasn't it? Because I was showing you, obviously, Valhalla's waterfall blowing all over the place. But today, if I pan over to it, looks like it's being its normal self on the roof today. But yeah, we got Ice Blast here, still looking the same as ever. I'm not going to be talking about Ice Blast today. I'm going to be talking about the rest of the attractions in the park. Head on the train, because I didn't actually do that last week. Show you some devastation that's happened. And talk about the Grand Prix, with some interesting news with that. Good news, since last weekend, the Derby Racer attraction here is now back open. Whatever the problem was last weekend, they've obviously managed to get it sorted in the week. And the ride is back open today. Just loading up for the next cycle currently. But yeah, good to see the Derby Racer, one of the most reliable rides in this park, is now back up again after its minor downtime last weekend. Yeah, Derby Racer back open. Right, so I'm now going to talk about the Grand Prix attraction. I'm currently stood across from Wallace and Gromit, where the old monorail attraction used to be. You can just see a few little remnants of it on the ground here. Obviously the centre bits where the track was, that might have been like some footers for the actual station roof, and the track would have come out here. And obviously connects up with the remaining bits of the track. Obviously there is still bits of track around the park. A lot of it is all chopped up into smaller sections, but the majority of the track is all in place. And you can see over by Nick Streak there, the track would have come back in here, where the building is there, HB game, loaded back up here, and then back out around the park. It was a great attraction, I do deeply miss it. I believe it closed back in 2012, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, 2012 was its last operating season. But I think it just came to the end of its service life, which is a shame. But yeah, the Grand Prix attraction, you can see the queue line stairs there and the station, and obviously the first turn out the station there. Well, it's not really been open much last season in 2023. It only operated really in the summer season and on the peak days. But yeah, the majority of the time it was closed for unknown reasons. And then obviously for this year, the park did state that the ride would not be open at any point for 2024, as the ride is removed for future expansions for new attractions in the future. But yeah, weirdly though, in the last few days there was a teaser of a racing flag and some different coloured lights, and then on the Friday morning they did put up a post saying take one final lap, take one final ride on board the Grand Prix attraction for only £50. Yes, £50. Extortionate prices. Considering Big Dipper, you can see just behind, for its 100th, its centenary birthday, you had that infusion and a great atmosphere throughout, with obviously cake and soft drinks or champagne, stuff like that, all included on the admission for only £15. I mean, that's a huge saving and obviously well worth the money. And obviously you got unlimited rides on both Infusion and Big Dipper. Unsure whether for 50 quid you'll get unlimited rides on the Grand Prix, but the way that they are wording it on the email that was sent out, and obviously on the Facebook post, it says take one final ride, so one being only obviously one ride. And considering it's not meant to be open for this season, is a kind of slap in the face really for 50 quid. You can only experience it for one last time if you pay £50, which is absolutely stupid. I think it should be open up until that date if they want to do that, so then people can have a chance, because no one's going to pay 50 quid when it's after hours to have a ride on the Grand Prix, are you really? So yeah, that's my sort of views on it. There is other views on Facebook about it. Tons of people have shared their views and expressions on the matter of £50 for the one ride on the Grand Prix. I mean, they are staging, you get a good atmosphere throughout, and I've no idea if, say, Big Dipper or Infusion will be open alongside Grand Prix, because they obviously are in this centre stretch. But yeah, £50 just for that. I definitely will not be paying for that one. So yeah, the Grand Prix is going to be open for one day this year, even though the park have stated it will not be opening at all. So yeah, I don't know who's running the ship here, but they need to get their head in the right game, because obviously opening weekend they said enter a competition to be the first guest on the big one, which you can see going up the lift hill, and it wasn't ready, it was shut. So communication there was a bit poor. Communication here with the Grand Prix is being a bit poor, how it's not meant to be open, but they are managing to get it open for one day. So they're having all the maintenance on it just for one day. Seems a bit daft, really. You'd have it open a few days and then obviously for its final goodbye party. But yeah, I don't understand the logic in it really, but that's my little rant on the Grand Prix. Just reminded though, it's £50. I can't say that enough. £50 for the Grand Prix, just the Grand Prix. I mean, silly prices. I mean, I can get a 2-day theme park ticket for Portaventura or Gardaland or any other European parks for that price, a 2-day ticket. But no, if you want just one ride, on an electric powered car ride, you can pay 50 quid if you want. So yeah, that's my little rant on the Grand Prix. But yeah, this view I'm stood on, I do actually quite like it. You get some good views looking over Revolution, Avalanche, you can see coming into the breaks, obviously Big One, Icon, pretty much all the major coasters here. So it is a great view, but obviously I do miss, as I said at the start, the monorail attraction, which used to offer some unique aerial and ground views and behind the scenes views of Pleasure Beach. Yeah, we'll move on, head on board the train, and I'll show you the devastation that has happened located in the safari section. Just a reminder though, £50 for the Grand Prix. Will you be doing it? Because I definitely won't be. Right, so on board the train, as we come through this tunnel at the old second station, you can see how much devastation has happened through into the safari section. So yeah, we'll go through the tunnel. First thing to note, there used to be a waterfall all here, which got removed a few years ago and just been left looking abandoned. Look at the top up there, all wires hanging out. Looks terrible, doesn't it? That's the first devastation section of the safari section. Then as we pan round past Big Blue, there is a lot more to see, which is on the old Skull waterfall. Right, so we're getting ever closer now to the second abandoned, rotten away section of the train. It'll be on the right hand side by the Big One's helix. Remember, it used to be a Skull waterfall. You have red water, blue water. But yeah, I'll zoom into it, take a few pictures for you, but it looks absolutely terrible now. So yeah, the Skull has actually collapsed due to all the rotten wood from the water over the past few years, actually collapsed, rotten away. You just saw a quick shot there of some back doors have collapsed as well, revealing the old monorail trains. So yeah, the train isn't in the best of conditions at the minute. As we pan through this little section as well, I did show this a few weeks ago. There used to be a mammoth sitting here on these steel girders, so yeah, that's also looking a bit worse aware, seeing how the footers there used to be for the big mammoth. So yeah, the train at the minute in the safari section is looking a bit knackered. Could do some major TLC. Unlike last weekend, the big one is back open. Obviously last weekend wasn't down to any downtime or technical reasons, it was just the wind. It was a bit strong last weekend, but as I say, no wind means the big one is back open this weekend. So after a interesting final ride on the big one, the operations were a bit bizarre really. You had a full station of guests and they started closing off section on the train, meaning that the ride took longer to clear and involved a breakdown because it had too much weight in the train. So yeah, very bizarre operations on there. It was good to get on it in the end, but it took a lot longer than expected. Obviously it showed you our interesting thoughts on the Grand Prix, as I've stated, being £50 for one ride in a few weeks time, and I've showed you the devastation on board the Pleasure Beach Express. This is also going to be the final Pleasure Beach update for quite a while, I'm afraid, because I'm going to be out of the country for quite some time visiting different parks throughout Europe. So yeah, there's going to be another video following this one showcasing which parks I am coming to. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. But in the meantime, thank you for watching this Pleasure Beach update. Obviously I've not showed everything because the majority was covered last week. And so yeah, thank you for watching. See you all soon from Pleasure Beach. But for now, that's it. No more Pleasure Beach for quite some time.